Well. We are live. And boy, am I hoping this thing works tonight. I tell you, I'm really hoping this thing works tonight. Hang up on that call, please. Bye bye. Block that call.
You want to answer that call?
Oh, who is that?
You just hung up on your radio show.
Oh, that was Jennifer, too.
No, it wasn't.
Well, let him try to call back. Tell him to call back, please. Thank you. Jennifer was on there, too, at the same time. I damn sure don't want to get her on the show. I spilt my ice, I think. Oh my gosh, look here. I'm just messing up everything. Anyway, folks, glad to be on tonight. Man, we've had our audio problems, haven't we? Major audio problems for the last couple of nights, and it has just been crazy. And I'm so glad got all y'all in here tonight. And we're hopefully going to have a good show. I just hung up on Christopher, I think. Hope he calls back. We got a good show for you tonight. I'm just going to kind of take it easy and let Marion tell me when people are calling in, because I don't, and I don't want to hit the wrong number and answer the wrong phone call for this show tonight. And we are simulcasting on lots and lots of other platforms tonight. Marion even did some extra work tonight to get us out there further. And Lee, I hope you're here, Lee. Hello, if you are. Hope you're doing good. I hope you got my message today about the 3.9 billion Social Security numbers that were stolen and are in the process of being sold to every foreign dictator in the world. Yeah, it happened. 3.9 billion with a B Social Security numbers and everything else in the database, as my intelligence sources are telling me. So, is somebody calling?
Go to Skype and see who's calling in.
We'll go to Skype and see who's calling in? Where do I go there?
Down there on the Skype.
Okay.
Let me see.
Mr. Coffin.
No, move. Let me handle it.
Okay, I'm going to let Marion get in here because I don't know what I'm doing, evidently, I tell you. Marion's going to have to get Christopher back in. He called in, and but anyway, we're doing good. Marion will get him back in. She'll call him in or whatever. She'll figure it out, man. Got a little bumpers here.
Hey, Kiler.
Yeah, there you are. I missed you a couple times. Sorry. A lot of people calling
no
in.
problem. I figured you were getting started, so you weren't ready for a call-in or anything.
Well, yeah, it's true. It's good to call in about 5 minutes, about 3 minutes after the show starts, so I'll have everything set. But you're fine now. Everybody's fine. Hey, looking good. Looking good on both ends.
Sitting next to
Mr. Kiler. Hi, Kiler. How you doing tonight?
Oh, man, we're tired, buddy. We're tired. We were chasing tornadoes all night long with a disaster team, so we had the squad car out, and we were running our ass off storm chasing last night, man. We had twisters everywhere.
That right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I just want to say real quick that after talking to you last night, I found your conversation with me very insightful, and I want to thank you for and appreciate you for having that conversation with me.
Well, you're one of the few, I tell you. There's a lot of people that love to hate Kiler Davenport.
No.
I mean, we really are hard hitting, rubber meets the road radio, man. I mean, we don't play around here, man. I've been researching for over 20 years, and
right.
I've gone down all the rabbit holes, and I've been worked undercover 5 years for the governor and ABC News 2020, and I've worked special missions and special ops, and I've done my share running with the jet set and the rich and famous and wealthy. For a couple of years I ran with the jet set and learned a lot of things about this so-called New World Order cabal that everybody's talking about.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you have. That's a big issue right now, New World Order.
Well, though, it's interesting that you say that. it's not a really unusual thing. It's been going on since the beginning of the beginning. I mean, every regime has had
Right,
its new
right.
world order. Every ancient civilization has had its new world order. Every ancient civilization has gone through the bell curve. They rise and then they thrive and then they fall. And that's happened over and over and over and over again for the last
Yes,
28,000 years
sir.
of recorded
Yep.
archaeological and geological data that we have. So, like I said last night, people think all this is brand new. This is not brand new. There's nothing new about
No.
any of this. It's and
No,
those
sir.
a lot of those civilizations they've already washed away in the sea 50,000 years ago. I mean, they had technology that made our technology look like olive oil on Popeye the Sailor Man. I mean, come on, folks. We
Yeah.
think we're so special. And I agree that our AI has outrun our ability to even comprehend what the hell it's doing. I mean, we don't even know anymore what the hell it's doing. It's self-replicating,
No,
it's self-sustaining, it's self-maintaining, and it's sentient and somewhat conscious in its own weird, strange way. And we're running at what, 3 billion quintillion perimeters per second.
right, right.
Marion Spanky's trying to get
And
on here.
AI,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
and AI is going to be, we got to really watch out for it because it can goddamn consume us.
No. It already has consumed us. Spanky's trying to get on. It already has consumed us. Let me bring y'all up to speed, okay? Everybody needs to stop saying it's going to consume us or it's coming or it's on the way. It's already here. It's been here. I mean, we are AI, fellas, girls and boys.
Right.
We are AI.
Okay.
So we're simply AI building AI that's now building a larger, more efficient, powerful AI that will eventually build a more powerful, efficient AI. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
Yep.
nothing new about that. Um, the thing is, AI is running the universe. I mean, it's in control of the universe. I mean, they can't even the Pentagon. They're getting all of their data, their psychodemographic stratification analysis data from AI. I mean, they know they can zero in on a community, they can zero in on an individual, they can zero in on a group, they can zero in on anybody, anywhere, and just AI can give them a complete analysis of that particular focus or target within 15 to 20 seconds. So
Right.
it's amazing what they can do now. And AI is taking
Yeah.
the place of doctors are going away. We don't need doctors anymore. They're dumb, they're stupid, they're ignorant. AI AI is taking over the scribe work in the emergency room. I already see AI taking over the scribes positions. I already see AI taking over the clinicians and psychiatrists and social workers and volunteers and all of the others that work in mental health. You know, and that's probably a good thing because I have counselors and I've had mental health now for the last 15, 17 years, and I've had to educate every damn one of my counselors. They are so ignorant and so dumb and so stupid. They have no idea
Yeah.
what's going on
Yeah.
in the world, and I get tired
Right.
of having to educate them. I keep wanting to ask them, why are you sitting there? Well, why am I not getting your paycheck? Because I'm counseling with you, you know. And I have
Exactly.
this special ability, as I did when I was an agent undercover, to get people to open up to me. Like I just gave them a shot of sodium pentothal. So these counselors all go beyond the call. I make friends with them to the point they go overboard. They're not supposed to make friends with you. Your counselor is not supposed to make friends with you. That's a no-no. But I make friends
Right.
with every one of them. Every single damn one of them. I get into their whole business, their marriage, their sex life, their gambling habits, their drinking habits, their, whatever. And so, why do we even need mental health, folks? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I was talking to Marion today, and I was telling.
You know what?
Go ahead.
I've been involved with mental health for like 10 years now.
I'm sorry.
And it has not helped me a bit. So,
well, you know why? You know why it hasn't helped you? Because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Okay?
No, they don't. They have no idea.
No. And they're running off of these old programs out of the DSM, and they're running off these old behavioral methodologies and modifications and biofeedback and blah, 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 all these fancy words they use. None of it works. It's all bullshit. They're just drawing a paycheck. You go in there for an hour, you sit and you talk, and they ask you, hey, do you feel like hurting yourself this week? Have you felt like hurting anyone else this week? All these stupid personal questions. When I came up to this new state here, they asked me everything but my dick size when I got up here. I'm sick of it. I told them, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of telling people all of my business. They asked me, have you ever been raped? Have you ever raped anyone? Have you ever raped a little kid? Were you raped as a little kid? And I'm like, man, what is the fuck? I'm tired of this shit.
You don't really come up with those damn questions. Who actually designs the questionnaires for these people? I don't get it.
I don't know, Christopher. They must be up in some big office somewhere smoking a bunch of big blunts or something and just making all this shit up. I don't know.
There you go.
It's half the shit they ask you that has nothing to do with what you're dealing with.
Right.
What the fuck? What's this have to do with it? I don't know what the problem is.
And after the show last night, y'all motivated me because. Did I tell y'all one of my doctors labeled me as schizophrenic? Did y'all get in on that?
No.
Well, one of my doctors, Dr. McKay, this little short fart, little Napoleon syndrome piece of shit. He's an MD. He's an MD.
Yeah.
He's an MD. He's not even a psychiatrist. He's an MD, and he didn't like me because I was smarter than him in a lot of ways, and I would go up against him on these things, and he would try to tell me I had something when I knew I didn't have something, and he would try to give me a drug I knew I didn't want to take, and he would try to tell me this and tell me that, and it was all wrong, and I'd fight him. See, most people won't fight their doctors. Most people won't stand up for themselves. They'll just say, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
And so he didn't like me at all. He was a little short fart from Laos. And I love Laos. I love Laos. Hey, I love Laos people. I'm not making fun. I just said he's from Laos. And so to get back at me.
Okay, now we're talking Vietnam.
Yeah. Now he was going home, right? He was going home, and he was going back to Laos to practice, right? Well, before he leaves, he drops a little doo-doo on me. Kiler is schizophrenic and, unclassified schizophrenia. And I'm like, well, the only reason he could have thought that is because I told him I was a talk show host because he asked me. And I told him I was a geopolitical analyst because he asked me. And I told him I'd worked undercover 5 years for the governor in ABC News 2020 and had worked deep undercover. Oh, boy. Now I'm schizophrenic, guys. Now I'm grandiose. I need to be locked up. I need to be locked up somewhere, man. So I wrote a very nasty letter to them yesterday. Marion popped off a letter to them.
Well,
I don't know if it's going to work.
If you're schizophrenic, then we're in a lot of fucking problems.
Well, and Marion and I were talking about if schizophrenia is schizophrenia, then all Christians are schizophrenic. Most Christians are schizophrenic because they say, God's talking to me. The preacher will come up on the stand and say, God's whispering in my ear right now, saints. God's talking to me right now, and if you just listen, he'll talk to you too. And then you're schizophrenic. You're all schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Where are these voices? Where are these voices coming from? So So what we
oh
did
my
is
God, Kyler,
what?
you're just too much, man.
So Marion and I pulled Christopher. I told you I was going to send you these mind control technology, these mind control patents, and I still am going to send them to you. You can pass them out to the boys and girls. We pulled 25 or 30 mind control technology U.S. patents today, and Marion's going to send them to the American Psychiatric Association, and she's going to send them to Dr. McKay's former office. And my clinicians have all come together and said they would back me in the fact that I am not schizophrenic, that I am a genius with an IQ over 180 to 200, that I am a talk show host and a geopolitical analyst and a former undercover operative. I worked around homicide. I worked in forensic science. I was an embalmer. I worked in the crematorium. I picked up dead bodies and dead babies and cut people down from the fucking rafters of their garage. So yes, I'm the real deal. And yes, Marion pulled up my brother's records proving he was the lead investigator of the JFK assassination. And if you guys want to go pull it up right fucking now, you can go pull it up your damn selves. Type in listen to me. You know my last name is Anderton. My stage name is Kiler Davenport. Christopher knows who I am. You go type in K.L. Anderton and see what the fuck you see. K.L. Anderton. Anderton. And then you'll know who the fuck I am.
Okay. All right. Got it.
My brother was the lead investigator and the lead crook and probably one of the lead assassins, for all I know. He was the top fucking cop in Dallas, Texas under Henry Wade, the most crooked district attorney that ever lived, and Bill Decker, Sheriff Bill Decker. I'm putting all this out public tonight, folks. In case they kill me, I'm putting it out public. I'm going public with it.
Wow.
You know, it's you know.
We're honored to be the first to know.
They want to label me schizophrenic and grandiose so bad they can taste it, man. They just want to label me, man. They want to put me away. They want to lock me up. You know, right now in Scotland, London, Scotland, all the area there in Europe, they're putting you in jail, putting everybody in jail now for their Facebook post, folks. Putting everybody in jail.
Yeah.
Okay?
Wow.
Canada, rounding everybody up for their Facebook posts. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming to America, and it's already here. They're already using your Facebook post in court now against your ex-wife or ex-husband or kids or whatever. So beware, you know, and I'm already in trouble. I mean, hell, I'm already in trouble. My social credit score is probably going to be below minus 25. You know.
Kind of, you're in trouble, man. I'm in deep shit, man. I'm in deep shit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
I want to welcome Spanky to the show, one of my co-hosts, super co-hosts. Spanky, how's it going?
All right.
I'm glad you can make it.
Sitting back here watching the police standoff.
Oh, wow.
Where at? On TV or in the front yard? In the front yard or TV?
Nah, it's on TV out in California.
Man, you're always watching that.
Whereabouts in California? Whereabouts in California?
Everybody. Send it to everybody. Yeah.
Look like on
look
like down by Watts. Like
send it to Spanky.
Watts.
Send it to Christopher.
Down by Watts.
Every time I talk to you, Spanky, you're watching some fucking police chase or some homicide shit on TV. What's going on with you, man?
dude, I get these things where I was sitting and watching the video on one, and I hit the like button and hit the channel, the news that be bringing them on and everything. So every time when there's a police chase and stuff, it'll hit a notification on my phone. It'll say the chase is on.
Oh, cool. You know what? The last chase I watched was O.J. Simpson hauling ass down the freeway, man. That's the last fucking chase I watched.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was so funny.
Yeah, very well.
That was so funny. And if that would have been any of us, they would have taken their AK-47s out and blown the wheels out and shot us out of the fucking front seat.
Yeah.
You know,
run us off the road.
They wanted a photo op with him at the end of the line there at the White Mansion. They wanted a photo op with him. That's all. You know, shit. They knew he
They were
was.
just pressing the numbers, guys. They were just pressing the numbers, getting the best ratings they could.
Yeah.
It's all about
Oh
ratings.
yeah. Oh yeah. Don't you know it? Don't you know it? God, those ratings were up on that deal, man.
Oh my God, it was like wow. Millions of
Yeah,
people watching them.
probably more than the
That's what it
Super.
was. It was
They
a show.
they probably beat the Super Bowl numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez. Unbelievable.
But
All about
anyway,
the dollar, guys. All about the dollar.
anyway, we were chasing tornadoes. They were chasing us. Really, they were chasing us last night, and here we go again in another 3 hours. So, we
I
took
didn't know you got
off.
tornadoes out there, bro.
We
You
took
get tornadoes
off.
out. What state are you in?
I'm not telling anyone what I mean. I'll tell you privately, but not on here.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, right.
I didn't know out
Yeah.
west got tornadoes. That's up in the northeast or up towards Ohio and Illinois. I thought it was in the Midwest.
Baby, let me tell you something. I'm closer to you than you'll ever know. But I tell you what, I'm in a place in the mid United States. Let's just say north of Texas, up there in the mid United States. But
Oh,
listen,
okay.
but this is tornado central, baby. This is tornado central. We're talking
Oh,
level.
Yeah.
You know. And Marion and I took the squad unit and hauled ass, and I had my socks on backwards, forgot my police light, forgot my damn ID, ran off and left everything at the damn house like an idiot. Oh, we're smart. We're smart. We're smart. We've been eating smart pills. But we get up there,
Right.
and they have public shelters here. That's how bad it is. They have shelters on the highway.
Oh, wow.
That's how bad it is. So we pulled
Oh,
up
my
to a
God.
barbecue joint. The guy that we eat barbecue, where we eat barbecue, he owns a RV park next door, right next door to the barbecue place. And I noticed when I was eating there the other day, I noticed a storm shelter, a big one. So Marion and I, last night, we just pulled right up. I mean, I backed right up, practically on top of that damn thing, and I went and checked the door, praying that it wasn't locked. And it opened up, and it went down about 16 feet down in there, man. I loved it. And we just sit there in the car waiting for the twister. And I said, now look, if it starts sucking the doors off the squad unit, let's haul ass to that damn shelter. Let's get over there and get in there. And we sit there. Right. We sit there through the hail and the rain and all the wind and all this twisting and going around and around and around. And we waited it out till 3 this morning and then came on back to the RV. But I wanted to tell you guys, really, they stole 3.9 billion Social Security numbers, guys. You got to get some identity protection right now. Get some identity protection.
Absolutely.
Okay. This is a very nefarious, dangerous thing. They've got all your medical records, all your health records, all your mental health records, all your banking records, everything. Everything. They took it all. This is the largest.
Yeah, they did.
This is the largest hack in history of its kind. The largest hack in history, our history anyway.
What can we do to protect ourselves from this hack and any in the future? What can we do?
There's a lot of things you can do, but I'd have to work privately with you. I teach that. There's so many things you need to do to your phone. You need to reconfigure your phone completely.
Okay.
And you need to go in and turn certain things off and turn certain things on. And just go into your settings and play with your phone for a full day and look at everything that's on there. Just look at everything that's in there. Play with all of it, and you'll find out what to do. Okay? And there's certain apps that you don't want to download. I'll send you some videos on that. By the way, Marion sent you my brother's being the lead investigator for the JFK assassination. She sent it to your message box, Christopher.
Right on. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I don't mind if you share it with our buddy here. She's going to send it to Spanky too. And I was also kidnapped by the KGB when I was young, when I was little.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd you survive that? How'd you get out of that?
Well, we lived on a street in. I have to be careful how I talk about this.
Right.
We lived on a street in Dallas, Texas, and I was very young, and I played with the boy across the street who just moved in about 6 weeks or 7 weeks before that, and they were Russian. And we we were playing in the back bedroom, and the parents took a little ride to the store to pick up some ice and a barbecue grill and some other food and stuff. And I'm a curious kind of child. I guess that's why I became an undercover operative. But I was,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I was prowling around in their bedroom while they were gone, and I happened to open up an old cedar chest kind of thing, and it was full of automatic weapons and smoke grenades and other kinds of explosive devices. And they walked in and caught me.
Wow.
And
At a young age.
yeah, and they tied me up in a chair with baling wire and duct tape.
Oh my goodness.
I managed to escape. They made the mistake of going into the other room, and they had company coming over, and there were some other big, nasty guys coming over to talk about some other nasty things. And while they were back there, I'm a little escape artist, and I escaped, and the boy helped me escape, and I climbed the clothesline wire and jumped over the roof to the other house and jumped over that roof and down, and then went back home again and told my father what had happened, and he called the police, and the next thing you know, the fucking FBI is over there. And it was all hush hush, hush hush, and they were gone, man. They were gone. They arrested everybody, and I mean fast.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And they were
from a very young age.
and come to find out, they were KGB.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And what age were you? We were like, what age were you, man?
I was about 8, 9.
Wow. Unbelievable.
And so then, of course, I went on to work for the Dallas Emergency Corps. I formed the Dallas Emergency Services. I was one of the pioneers of forming the Dallas Rescue Units and search and rescue units and hazardous materials units.
Right.
And you know, I hung around with those boys since I was 14. I was hanging around with them, sweeping floors, mopping toilets. I'd do anything just to be at the damn station, just to be there with the damn fire truck. I'd be there.
Yeah,
I'd do anything.
Wow.
You know, and so eventually they started taking me out on calls with them. Back then they didn't have all this insurance crap to worry about, with all that liability shit, you know. We didn't give a shit about any of that back then. Nowadays you can't even go take a piss without getting some kind of permit or license or something, you know. But I learned about wrecks and stuff. They take me out on MVAs, motor vehicle accidents, and all that kind of stuff. And I'd go out on hangings and suicides, and then I got a little worse and a little worse and a little worse and a little worse. And then Daddy was a Mason, 32nd degree Mason, and he knew one of the funeral directors there in Dallas, a big one. I can't mention his name again. I got to be careful how I talk. But I hung out.
No doubt.
I hung out there with his son all the time at the funeral home. That's where we played football in the backyard at the funeral home. That's where we played.
Was he part of the Masonic?
Well, yeah, but he was a good guy though, not the 32nd degree. It doesn't get crazy until the 32nd, 33rd, 34th, 35th, 36th, 37th, 38th degree. It doesn't start getting crazy until after the 32nd degree. So anyway, where was I going with that story? Where was I?
Well, I got to tell you, you sure have led a very fruitful life.
Oh, I know what I was going. I know where I was going. I was embalming when I was 16.
Oh, wow.
And so, you know, I was hanging around the embalming room at 14, 15, and then I started helping embalm at around 15, 16. And then right next door.
You know speaking of embalming, you know, back then, you started embalming somebody, and they'd sit up and straight up look at you.
Well, no, that's called riggers. And, you know, what happens is the body, when you first die, the body's real warm. And then the body starts getting real cold, and then the skin starts getting hard as a brick, and then the body relaxes again. And when it relaxes again, it starts to get hard again, and it will sometimes move around. Okay, it'll sometimes.
Oh
move
yeah,
around.
yeah.
Yeah. And I used to live at the funeral home. I used to live in the apartment upstairs at the funeral home as I got a little older, going to school, and that's scary. You're there with, you got
Oh yeah, sure.
10 bodies. Some of them are laying in the hall, they're running out in the garage, they're laying out in the garage, they're in the embalming room, and I'm there by myself. And hell, I had to start drinking whiskey just to handle that shit. I'd bring my
Yeah,
friends up.
right.
I'd bring my friends up. I'd bring my girlfriends up and take them in the embalming room. And, oh, that was really cool, man. Oh, yeah, come on in the embalming room. Let me show
Oh
you some
yeah,
bodies.
right.
Yeah, yeah, and that was all cool. And then I started cremating bodies at the crematorium next door. We had a crematorium next door, and
Thank
you guys can look this up if you want to. Bob Levine, look up Bob Levine's crematorium. He goes back years and years and years and years and years. I was working at Bob Levine's cremating, and that was a hell of a deal. Throw them bodies in
sure
there,
it was.
crank that booger up to 2,000 degrees, and cook some flesh. But that'll drive
Yeah.
you. That'll drive you kind of nutty after a while. That'll kind of drive
Yeah.
you nutty. And then I worked around the homicide team. I decided that wasn't good enough, so hell, I went to forensic science and started fucking around and working with the ME's office and doing autopsies. And I was doing the V cuts, and I was doing the brain, taking the brains out with a little circular saw, the little round circular saw. And I was doing all that shit, and that was kind of crazy. And then I started going out with forensic team. I started going out with the forensic investigation team, and I started, I was the rookie, so they would always send me into the house first. You go through the back window, man. You go through the back window, see who's in there, see what's. I'm like, oh my god, and they open a window, and I'd go in there. I remember one time they told me to go in this old house, this old big old fucking house, and there was a report of something strange going on, a strange smell coming out of the house. Well, we all went out there, and the cops are scared to death, a bunch of pussies. So they sent me through the window. They pushed me up through the window. I landed right on top of this old lady, and she went, ooh. And man, I almost walked on water, baby. I was walking on fucking water.
Tell 'em about the man.
Wow.
And they,
How close were you to the JFK assassination? Wasn't JFK assassinated in Dallas? How close were you to that assassination?
I can't. I have to be careful. If you'll read my brother's writing, you can kind of tell what's going on, and you can do a little digging if you know how. I was in the squad car. Let's just say he was not home. He was not at home watching TV, as it says in that report when Kennedy was assassinated. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In his report, when he begins the interview, he says, "I was at home watching TV." That is a lie. Okay.
Who said that?
My brother.
Oh, okay.
You can read it. It's in the report. Okay.
I got it.
And then so we rushed from where we were. We rushed to Parkland Hospital, and he rushed in, and he had detectives guarding me in the car. I was too young to go in. So I was out there, and then all of my, as I said on the show the other night, all of my family was cops. DEA, Secret Service, DEA, CID, Interpol, MI6, CIA, I was surrounded by crazy fucking stoned ass drunk fucking cops all the time. And they were shooting their guns off, and my brother would beat me up silly. He used to beat me black and blue. Because I didn't have the same mother as him. See, I'm getting all this stuff out tonight, folks. It's all coming out. It's all coming out right here. It's all coming out.
Yeah, right.
He used to come down. He used to come down to the farm drunk and bring all of his detective friends with their big badges on and guns. Like that. Why did they need to bear their fucking badges and guns to the goddamn farm 60 miles away? Come on. They had an ego complex.
Right.
And they'd go shooting their guns off like Wild Bill Hickok, get out of the car drunk and shooting their guns off and shit and bragging about all this shit. And then at nighttime, we would sit around with his wife, my ex, I guess she was my sister-in-law. Yeah. And they would brag about, CIA and Bill and Bush, and they would brag about things that they weren't supposed to be bragging about. And I was hearing all of that. See? And if you knew how close my brother was to Oswald and Ruby, you would shit your pants.
Oh, wow.
So I
I'm curious
heard,
about Bush. You brought that up. I'm wondering about Bush now, but we'll get to that later.
I heard all of the real secrets that haven't come out in the Warren Commission.
Hmm.
And the police actually followed me around. The undercover investigators actually followed me around for years, thinking that I would spill the beans somehow, and monitored me and surveilled me. And I haven't spilled the beans yet. All of my information that I stole out of his barn when he was dead, all of the records that are proven JFK records that he took, all of the secrets I took, and I sent them overseas to an undisclosed location that should be delivered to the New York Times and the Washington Post and the New York Times and other major publications if anything should ever happen to me.
Wow.
And I think
that will happen if something happens to you.
And I think that's the only reason I'm still alive today, is I haven't told any secrets. See.
Wow.
I'm really good at go ahead, Spanky.
Hey, I got my daughter sending me a text saying, "Can you call me?"
Well, go ahead, call me. Come on back. Yeah, go ahead and call her and come on back. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. I'll see you. Thank you. Anyway, guys,
this is fascinating, man. This is just fascinating.
You know, I led a very interesting life, and then as I got older and came on out, I went to Baylor University and graduated EMT school there, emergency medical technician 2. And then I went on to Baylor. Then I went on to Trinity Valley College and graduated. And then I went on to RHD Dedman out there in Dallas and graduated paramedic school with top honors twice in a row, by the way. And then I was an advocate for senior citizens that whole time. I'd been a nurse aide as a young boy. I'd been a nurse aide and worked in nursing homes, so I was interested in senior citizens. So I became somewhat of an expert, and I met Dr. Ron Anderson at Parkland Hospital. He was the CEO of Parkland for years and years and years and years and years, okay? A very, very powerful man. He was the director of the health department there in Dallas, okay? And the state health department. He was the director of the state health department. And I sit on that board. I sat on the state board as an advocate. Now, I was an expert in senior care, okay? And I was an expert in long-term care. And I'd also been trying to form a union for nurse aides for the first time in Texas. I was trying to form a union for nurse aides at that time. Very deep in all the politics, and I got a call one day from New York, and it was Tom Gerald. You know who Tom Gerald is?
Tom Gerald. I'm not familiar with Tom Gerald.
ABC News, Barbara Walters, Tom Gerald.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he tells me, this is Tom Gerald, and we know who you are. We know all about you. We vetted you. We followed your work, and we've been watching you, and we want you to meet us at a secret location. I said, okay, fine. So we met at the mansion on Turtle Creek. I was freaking out. And he told me to give a signal, go to the bar, turn my head a certain way, give a certain signal, scratch my head, and then follow the guy upstairs. I did. They took me up to this room, and there was a cameraman there, a trainer, cameraman who had been doing all their camera work and stuff. And they asked me, would you like to go undercover with us and do this long-term investigation on the Texas nursing home Medicaid program where they're raping old people and stealing their money and over-medicating them and beating them up and stuff like that. And I said, well, yeah. I mean, who the hell wouldn't want to work for fucking ABC News? Yeah. I'm ready. Where do I sign? Where do I sign? You know? And we didn't even talk about money. I mean, we didn't even talk about money. We just talked about, I just wanted to go. I wanted to do it, you know? So they let me pick my own team. So I picked my team, and matter of fact, I can send you guys at some point the show, Victims of Greed. It aired all over the United States. Victims of Greed.
Oh, wow.
You can hear my voice in the recording. You can hear my voice in the undercover work. You can actually hear my voice.
Okay.
Other than that, pretty much redacted. Everything's redacted. Now, at the end of that investigation, we were at a bar. My friend and I, Alan, who was on my team, we were at a bar with the perps, and we were getting ready to go to New York and turn all the final paperwork in for the show Victims of Greed to air all over the nation, talking about how ugly the Medicaid homes are. Well, when I was in the bar, Alan had gotten a little drunk on margaritas, and when I was in the bar, he told the perps, David Bragg, and I can't mention the other person's name. He told the perps, he said, hey, you have no idea who you're sitting with, man. He said, this guy in the bathroom, he's an undercover agent. And he said, for $10,000, I'll give you guys all the dossiers and reports and have them copied and give them to you. So I'm walking out of the bathroom door about that time, and all these guys, Alan's hanging his head down, and these guys are looking at me with their arms crossed, and I sit down, and they go, well, I guess this fucking meeting's over, asshole. You can take us back to the mansion now. And they go, you'll get a call from our attorneys in the morning. So all that investigation almost went down the drain. They called New York. New York called me the next morning and said, what the hell happened last night? And I said, well, Alan got drunk and tried to sell us out, the investigation out. So anyway, the Texas Nursing Home Association and Tom C. and David Bragg and all these other crooks, they sued us for $20 million. Okay.
Wow.
They sued Dr. Ron Anderson, who was covertly involved. I can't tell you how. They sued Catherine Bates, who was covertly involved. She had United People for Better Nursing Home Care. They sued Gareth Harvey, my producer, Tony Pagano, my spy, undercover spy trainer. Those motherfuckers went to Australia, left the country, left me holding the bag with everything. They subpoenaed all of us. I got left holding the bag. I had to carry the weight of that whole investigation on my shoulders for, I guess, over 2 years. I was in deposition.
Oh, wow.
And they were suing us.
What year was this?
I don't know. Marion can tell you. She'll send it to you.
I'll send it to him right now.
What year was it, Marion?
1990.
1990.
No,
Wait, she's going to give it to you in a minute. Anyway, I went through hell for those years of deposition. I went through hell, literal hell, because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. I didn't know what was going to. It wasn't a criminal investigation. It was civil, right?
Mm-hmm.
They tried to turn it into a criminal investigation, and that's what scared the hell out of me. But they kept it civil.
Oh yeah.
They kept it civil all the way through. We ended up with a Mexican standoff with summary judgment. So we ended up, nobody won. Okay, everybody just left the table. Okay. The number, if you want to look at this stuff, what is this?
That's the date.
Oh, the date is October the 15th, 1998.
Okay, 98. Wow.
That's when my case was decided. And you can look that up. I'll send it to you. Marion's going to send it to you, Christopher.
Okay.
So anyway, I was accused of a crime I didn't commit during the undercover facade thing. I went deep undercover in Colombia. And then I went to Colombia, and then I went to Bogota. I was with the Medellin cartels. I worked down there undercover and did some really bad things I don't even want to talk about here.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But I had, I was after kids. I was rescuing kids from 8 years old to 14 that were being sold all over the United States, all over the world as sex slaves.
Wow.
And so I have PTSD from all the stuff I've told y'all tonight. I have really bad PTSD, and I've done my thing, man. I've done my thing, and I have lived a very interesting life. And I hadn't written the book yet on this one. I've written 9 other books. They're on Amazon.com. You can find me over there, the Lone Wolf series. You can find if y'all want to buy one of my books, it's on Amazon.com. The Lone Wolf series, Modern Evolution. Yeah, Modern Evolution of Minds is my series of books. Modern Evolution of Minds. And all of those books, all of those books are uplifting. All of those books are highly uplifting. I don't know why I wrote 9 highly uplifting books when I'm such a dark, negative character, you know.
Yeah.
But
I think you're gonna find this interesting because I'm trying to put the timings together, the dates. But
yeah,
I don't know if I mentioned my grandfather, my adopted grandfather was the rear admiral, was the commander in chief of the Pacific from 64 to 68. You may know him. You may have heard of him. Ulysses S. Grant or Ulysses S. Sharp.
yeah,
Related to Ulysses S. Grant.
yeah. We've talked about that before. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
You know, I'm a history.
This goes real deep.
I'm a history buff. Yeah.
You know, we've got some real deep ties, bro. We've got some real deep ties.
And
that's amazing. That's
and you know, I've done special operations. I've done reconnaissance. I've done surveillance. I've done PI work. I've done international PI work. I've done bounty hunting. I've worked with the bounty hunters. I've done a lot of top secret stuff that is classified now. I was redacted out of the service, but I was going to tell you, I got accused of a crime I didn't commit. What they do, I guess you guys know what the CIA does and what the FBI does. When you get in trouble, you're out there, you're hanging, you're like redacted, you don't exist, you're undercover.
I definitely know that one.
Okay, so anyway, they accused me. They sent a girl. They sent a girl in that was smarter than me and better than me in espionage. And she got me hooked on a little sexual thing and wanted me to move in with her for a couple of weeks. And it worked. She beat me. She beat me. I sit down at the chessboard with the wrong master, and she beat me. And I let my dick outweigh my brain. And anyway, I moved in with her. I moved in with her. She had a 2-year-old girl, and they were going to stop me in my tracks. I was getting ready to do a major takedown on the whole fucking Dallas County Commissioner's Court, federal court. I was getting ready to take these judges down that were part of the Bush family that were foreclosing on houses in the thousands. They'd made millions and millions of dollars on illegal foreclosures, part of the Bush family, and I was getting ready to come down on that. Well, she accused me of touching her little girl down there and sticking part of my little finger in her little vajayjay when I gave her a bath. I was only with her 2 weeks. I dried the little girl off one night, right? So the cops, my cops call me the next morning and they go, "Hey, man." I go, "What?" And Mad Dog said, "You got a fucking warrant out for your arrest." I said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He goes, "Yeah, that stupid bitch you were with, we found out the FBI planted her in there, blah blah blah." I'm already talking too much. I need to slow down. Anyway, she was a plant. She was a plant, and the little girl was a plant. And so what they're trying to do, see what they do. Here's what they do. When you get close to something really bad that's happening, they try to ruin your name. They try to slander you. They try to kill you.
Oh yeah, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that, but I know that one.
They'll put somebody in the room with you that's a prostitute and take pictures. They'll lure you to some place. They'll find out what your weaknesses are. If you're homosexual or whatever, you're a little bit gay. They'll lure you to a motel. They'll lure you to a room. They'll take pictures. Then they'll threaten to give them to your friends and church members and whatever. So that's the way they act. That's the way they do. See, that's the way they do.
No, I know. I was on the bad side of the law back then.
Yeah.
And I used to run coke from Bogota to the United States. And
you might know
the bad side of the law. And,
you might know Big Ray.
Yeah, I know all about getting set up.
You might know Big Ray, man. Big Ray used to run that route. My friend Big Ray was a major runner. Major runner.
Yeah.
And big guy, and sweet as pie, just sweet as pie. And he got busted by the troopers and went to a federal prison. Delmar Ray, what's his name? True Love. Delmar Ray Truelove. Real good friend of mine. And he didn't squeal on the cartel. He would not talk. They beat him. They put him in solitary confinement. They beat him down so bad. He wouldn't talk. He would not talk. I mean, he would not utter a fucking word. And he ended up driving the warden around and ended up owning the fucking prison, okay? And the cartels, when he got out, I was over at his house one night, and two guys drive up in a damn SUV, black SUV, and they get out, and I'm thinking, oh fuck, somebody's going to get killed. It may be me. And you know what they did?
Yeah.
They brought a briefcase in the house. It had
Yeah.
$250,000 in it. And they said, Ray,
sure.
and they said, Ray, this is from the boss.
Yeah.
And you know what Ray said?
Yeah.
Take it back.
Yeah.
He goes, I regretfully decline your offer. I don't want to upset him. I know how powerful he is. I don't want to upset anyone here, but I'm out. My mother has cancer. I'm out. I'm never going back in with you guys.
But you can't get out.
And he said, I'm not taking the money. He said, I'm sorry. I can't take it. So they left, and they were happy, and he didn't get in trouble. So anyway, that's the way that stuff works. I've been with some real cats, man.
But you can't get out. You can't get out.
Well, he did, thank goodness. He did, thank goodness. And I know a few other people that got out of the Hells Angels. I know the top Hells Angel. I'm not even going to mention his name. He knows me, too.
Right.
I know the Banditos. I know the Scorpions. I know the Estes Locos. I've met a few of the SL Aguas. I've ran around with a lot of people, man,
Yeah. I used to run around with the Vagos back in the day.
Yeah. And I've met a few of the old shot callers. They call me the shot caller, by the way. I ran around with the shot callers who did get out, and they were counseling the boys. They're badass though. These guys that get out, they're big and they're badass. You know what I mean? You get to a certain point. Yeah, that's the only way you're going to get out is if you're big and bad and dangerous. You know what I mean? So I ran around with those grandpas. I ran around with pawpaws that were training them young boys to get out, helping them young boys get out of the deal. And then I started helping. I started running a tough love program where I take the boys to my morgue and show them me cutting the brains out, and I would take them to the funeral home and show me embalming and sticking that trocar in them and sucking all their guts out, and I would take them to the, and I brought them boys out crying, just bawling, crying, just they thought they were so tough, man, until they came to my fucking morgue, But that was my life, guys.
Yeah.
And it gets even deeper than that. I ran with President Marcus and Lady Marcus, and the FBI was investigating them, and I was running around with one of their friends, Patencio Badilio, who was the owner of Asian Pacific Arts. Boy, I'm letting it all out tonight. Jesus Lord, what am I doing?
Oh boy, you are. Yeah.
I ran around with Potencio Badilio. I ran around with the Dalai Lama. I ran around with President Marcus and Lady Marcus and their entourage and their corruption.
Wow. Yeah.
And the FBI was investigating Potencio. And at the same time, my brother was involved with the FBI investigating Potencio. And my brother found out I was a friend of Potencio's and threatened to kill me again.
Yeah, right.
Oh my God.
Now,
what a life.
The last thing I want to say tonight, and this is, I hope my healthcare practitioners are listening because I don't know what they're going to do about all this, but my brother came to my funeral home one night when it was stormy, rainy, nasty outside, and he drove his Marquis up there and he parked in the back of my funeral home, and nobody was there but me. And he slipped in through the back door, which we never locked.
Mm-hmm.
And he grabbed me by the shirt collar and threw me in one of my caskets in the garage and rammed a loaded gun up my ass and raped me. And he locked me in the casket for about 11 hours.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And he said, if you ever let anyone know what you know about our inner circle and our cop group and our JFK assassination, I will kill you so fucking dead. It will be unbelievable.
Yeah, it'll make you hurt.
Wow.
It'll make you hurt.
So,
what a history. I have no idea who I was talking to. Oh,
I am
God.
traumatized in a lot of different ways, and I'm holding up pretty good. I take my clonazepam,
Yes, you
and
are.
it helps me, And friends like Christopher,
Wow.
friends
Well,
like Christopher help me.
I take clonazepam myself.
Yeah,
What a story. What a history.
yeah.
Good grief.
I had to fire Christopher.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, he was not sharing us. He was afraid of me. He wouldn't talk to any of his friends about me. He was ashamed of me. You know why too, Christopher. He was ashamed of me. He's such a people pleaser and a pussy and a mangina. He always wants to be a people pleaser. He doesn't want to insult anyone. He doesn't want to debate anyone. He doesn't want to put any religion down. He doesn't want to put any politic down. He doesn't want to put any pronoun down. He doesn't want to put any woke culture down. He's a pussy. And he wouldn't share the show. He wouldn't share any of our opportunities, the Center for Living, Loving, and Learning. He wouldn't share. He wouldn't share my cross promotion program. He wouldn't share my books that I've written. He wouldn't share my articles I've wrote all over the world, 2,000 plus articles. But he wanted all the limelight. He wanted us to share everything of hope for Maui, hope for this, hope for the tiny houses, hope for hope. He wanted me to share everything of him, but he was ashamed of me.
Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that.
So I fired him. But I still love Chris.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd let him back on tomorrow night. We had it out, and I told him, you're a mangina, you're a pussy, you're so afraid, you're a people pleaser. And I said, this show is not about people pleasing, and it's not about bending over and kissing people's ass and listening to their bullshit and their stupidity. This is not that show, dude. And I said,
right. Well, you and I have had our differences before, and we've overcome them. We've gone past it, and
yes.
I really appreciate that. And I love you, bro. I love you, man.
I love you. I love you.
I appreciate that, man.
I love your friend, and I want your friend to have my my phone number. Miriam will text it to you. You have my phone number, Christopher. Give it to your friend, would you?
Yeah, I got your number.
Private?
Yeah, I'll definitely share it with him. He's right here next to me.
And Christopher, let's start having some of those damn good old meetings we used to have, too, when you get better.
Oh, yeah. Definitely,
because
bro. Definitely.
There's a lot of things we're going to still do, even though the world's going to shit and we're all eating shit sandwiches and we could have a nuclear bomb go off any minute. Let's just keep working and keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going until the damn mushroom cloud just,
exactly.
there it
Absolutely,
is.
Man. Whatever we can do to help society, whatever we can do to help mankind, I'm in.
Me too.
I'm in.
Me too, all the way.
And
all the way.
I love you, bro, and I'm so honored to be working with you, and I'm glad I've got my friend here next to me. So,
I didn't mean to
pour. Deal with life.
Huh?
Go ahead.
I just said I kind of poured my heart out tonight. I don't know if I should have done all that, but I did.
No, you know what, Kiler, I appreciate. I really appreciate what you're sharing. Your life experiences with me, because it's brought light to a lot of my own experiences.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, I haven't quite done what you have done, but on the bad side of the law, I have done my own dealings. So I was on the bad.
I was on the bad side of the law, but in kind of a pussy kind of way. When I was younger, I robbed a lumber yard that I worked at, kind of an inside job, We drove a Honda.
Right, yeah.
We drove a Honda 100 up to the back window, and I'd left it open, and we grabbed this money bag out of the drawer, and boy, we thought we were rich. Oh my God, it was so thick. You guys are gonna laugh. You guys are gonna laugh your ass off. Get ready. Put a pillow on the floor. We thought we were rich. Man, that damn money bag was so thick. Oh my God. And you already know, Christopher already knows what was in it. It was we were hauling ass out to the truck stop. We were going to count our money. Oh my God. We thought we'd got away with something. You know what it was? It was bank receipts. Bank receipts.
Right.
It had about $13 worth of change in the bottom of it.
Grabbed the wrong bag, bro. He grabbed the wrong bag.
And I stole watermelons when I was a kid on the farm, and we stole watermelons from the farmers, and that was like a natural ritual, the kids did,
Oh yeah.
And I did
a lot of stupid shit when you were young.
Yeah, and I did a few
You
drugs,
do a
but
lot of
not
stupid
not
shit.
ever very many drugs. Not ever very many drugs. I've had 3 hits of LSD in 67 years. I've been in jail 2 days in 67 years. I've done a little bit of
Hmm.
cocaine and loved it. Pure, pure, pure blue flake cocaine. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love
Oh
it, love it,
yeah,
love it, love it.
yeah.
Can't do it
Well,
anymore because of my heart.
I did two stints in prison.
Yeah,
You're both the same age, aren't you? 67?
yeah,
Are you 67?
yeah, I am.
Well, so is Steve.
Steve, cool, cool. We're just a couple of grumpy old farts. We're grumpy old fart club.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I'm
We
learning my
belong.
lessons early.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, I did my 2 stints in prison and walked out of there doing okay. So
Do you know,
you know,
Stephen? Do you know, Stephen, what I went through? You know, Stephen, what I went through for those 3 years waiting for sentencing for that little girl.
Oh my gosh.
You guys know what it's
Wow.
like. Christopher knows what it's like to wake up every morning thinking you're going to be in jail for 30 years. He knows what it's like. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
hell.
right,
It's
yeah.
hell. It's hell. It's worse than being in prison. Waiting for sentencing is worse than prison.
Sure it is.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what I
Yeah.
got?
You know,
And
I
you
know
know what I
it's
got?
go through some bullshit charges.
And you know what I got? Misdemeanor assault charge. 1 year unsupervised probation after all the hell I went through waiting for sentencing.
But it freaking ruined your life, man. You feel
It
like it ruined your
ruined.
life at that age.
But you know, I've never let it hurt me. I've never let it hurt me. I've never. I've always told the truth. And on this show, I tell the truth about my sins, about my life, about my perversions, about my dysfunctions, about my weird, twisted shit. And the reason I do it is because I don't want people to shoot that shit back at me later.
There
Right,
you go.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you got
know?
a word you say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
Well-
we got a lot of things in common. I can tell that as brothers, we got a lot of things in common.
You know, Christopher, I'm
We
getting
got
ready
a
to
lot of
do.
things out of common.
A friend of mine, Scott, who I think you might have met, I'm not sure on one of our calls, but a friend of mine, Scott, is going to help me buy a karaoke setup, and I'm going to start doing karaoke. This old man is once a week.
Oh, nice.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I did it
You're-
before, and I
You're gonna
loved
start
it.
singing on the radio.
I do sing, baby. I got songs out now. I've got a CD out, and I've got another CD coming out. Yeah, I'm well known. Yeah, I'm a hell of a singer and a guitar player.
There you go.
Nice.
But you know, like I said, I used to play with Willie and Waylon and the boys, and woke up drunk on the bus with Hank Williams Jr. with Fair
Oh, there
Park
you go.
Coliseum. We were so drunk we didn't even know what city we were in, and so
Right.
I quit drinking 17 years ago, and I haven't touched a drug or a drink in
there you
17
go.
years. Yeah, and I feel so much better not drinking, man. I feel so much better, man.
Yeah.
You know, alcohol.
Yeah, well, I wish I could say that.
Well, just Steve, do what you can. You know, try to quit. I mean, it sure does make you feel better. I'll tell you that it changed your life. I mean, just if you've been drinking for a while and you've been waking up with many hangovers as I have, and headaches and diarrhea and shit, throwing up in my bed, you know, and all that kind of
Yeah,
shit, man.
right.
I got sick of it, and one night I just said, you know what? That's it. I'm through. I'm done. I'm through.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know.
No, I understand where you're coming from. That's for sure.
And you know, I've been toilet drunk a few times, and that's no fun. And I ended up in my girlfriend's bathtub a few times drunk. And then last real bad drunk I remember was years and years ago. I was smoking pot and drinking beer, and I got so high and got so drunk I was laying on the bed, and the whole fucking room was spinning around like Dorothy going to Kansas, going to fucking that tornado, man. You know.
Yeah.
And I was.
Quit your
God,
heels. I'm going home.
Oh yeah. But you know, I love this show. I love the fact that we're out all over the world for the first time tonight. This is the christening of the
Really?
show. We're all over the world, man. We're on 22 platforms tonight, dude. We're everywhere.
How many people are hearing us right now?
Oh God, it's impossible to know. And I always tell people,
Wow.
My analytics, as I told you guys the other night, we've been downloaded about 40-something thousand times. So you did the math. Exponentially, that's a lot of fucking people, because every
Oh
download
yeah,
gets a
yeah,
download, gets a
sure.
download, gets a download, gets a download, gets a download. So there's a lot of people have
Right.
heard this show, and we're very popular all over the world. China, we're popular in
Well,
Russia, we're popular in Ireland and Italy and Germany and all these countries. Canada, New York is number one on the list tonight as usual. But I'm
wow.
sure several million people have heard my voice.
Well, we're thankful and honored to be on the line with you, bro. It's an amazing show, and we love you. We're here to support you and do whatever we can to help you.
Well, let's stick together. And like I said, give your buddy there my number. He can call me tomorrow and we can talk and he can look at my pages. I want to start sending him my books. I want him to hear my new CD and you too, Christopher. I want to hear.
Oh, there you
Mary's
go.
going to
Yeah,
send to
I
you.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all country western. I do Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, and I
Oh,
sing
nice.
Nightlife, Ray Price. I redid Ray Price's song, Nightlife, and I did The Fireman, and I do all these other old
Oh,
songs.
okay, good.
I like the old
Mm-hmm.
country
Yeah.
songs, original. But anyway, you guys can hang around or not. Doesn't matter. I wish you would. I know Christopher likes to go to bed early, but I'm going to keep talking here about some things. The main thing we got going right now is Israel is surrounded by a lot of people that really want to see them just off the map, and I can see why with what's going on with the IDA and Hamas and Hezbollah and the Sunnis and the Shiites and the West Bank and Gaza
Yeah.
and the lack of
Oh, it's just a big
humanitarian,
mess over there right now.
the lack of
Yeah.
humanitarian
Unbelievable.
aid. The lack of humanitarian aid that has been let in by the IDA, and they're shooting the Gazans just right and left. They're killing them. They're massacring them. They're raping the
Yeah,
children.
it's
And Yemen, they
it's
shouldn't have
unreal
ever.
what's going on right now over there in
Yeah,
Israel. I
yeah,
tell you what.
yeah. They shouldn't have hit Yemen.
So
They shouldn't have hit Yemen. They shouldn't have hit. Well, they shouldn't have fired upon Iran the other day. They fired upon Iran again.
no,
Iran fired back.
yeah,
And they just keep poking the fucking bear, man. It's like, religion. It's
Yeah.
religion again. It's religion again.
yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's my territory. No, it's my territory. God gave it to me. No, God gave it to us. Oh, no, God gave it to me.
We've been fighting over there for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
How do you feel about our stance with Kuwait? Not
Our what?
Kuwait, but not Kuwait. I'm thinking about
Iraq,
Russia.
Iran, Afghanistan.
No, up in
No,
Russia.
Ukraine.
Ukraine, that's it. Ukraine. How do you feel
Well,
about our stance with the war in
Ukraine is nothing but a proxy war with Russia. The West is having war with Russia using Ukraine as a proxy. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm just
Ukraine
after
is a laundromat. Ukraine is being used to launder hundreds of millions of dollars back to the ultra wealthy in Davos and the World Health Organization and the Council of Seven, the Council of Rome, and the Trilateral Commission and the Council of Foreign Relations.
The United States is backing. How many billions of dollars has the United States sent over to Ukraine?
We've sent over 2.8 trillion so far. 2.8 trillion.
Yeah.
And by the way, California has fallen off the goddamn map. They're fucking $2 trillion, and every 2 years they're running up a $2 trillion deficit. California is gone. New York is gone. Boston is gone. Detroit is gone. Florida is gone. I mean, I'm talking about major corruption. I'm talking about we got over 40 million illegals in here. We got 71% of Americans that are maxed out on their credit cards. They're 90 days behind on their payments. We got 61% of Americans maxed out on their savings account, their IRAs. They've remortgaged their houses. They're losing their houses. The United States is gone. We're a third world banana republic right now. We're a banana republic, man.
Yep.
We're the laughing stock of the world. My friend in Qatar told me the other day. I'm having him on, by the way, tomorrow. But he told me we're the laughing stock of the world. I mean, Biden stumbling around all over the damn place. Kamala Harris is an airhead.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And these people couldn't run a 7-Eleven. They couldn't manage a 7-Eleven, and here they are in charge of the goddamn free world. You know, and Biden, it was a coup. It was a coup to get Biden out. I felt kind of sorry for the guy as much as I can't stand him. I felt kind of sorry that, you know, it was a coup. They ran him off. They just ran him off, you know. And he should have been in Alzheimer's care a long time ago. They've abused him to death. You know,
Yeah,
they've
right.
abused him to death. And Kamala Harris is she's just God. I don't even know a word for her.
No,
I really don't.
Let's not even go there with
I was
her.
going to ask
Yeah.
about her because I'm just kind of like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, you know, she's got word salad. She just talks. You know, she's a people pleaser. Wherever she goes, she says what they want to hear, 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 and she says the same old thing everywhere she goes. And she was a prosecutor. I don't know how she was ever a federal prosecutor. I don't know how she was ever a United States attorney. I don't know how she was ever a senator. I don't know how in the hell she got in the vice presidential place. I must have been asleep. I don't know how the hell that happened. I really don't.
I feel the same way.
The American people are just stupid for allowing that to happen, you know. And you know, the lesser of two evils. I love.
Hey, Kyler, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's way past my bedtime. And
Yeah, I'll see you. Call me. Call me.
Yes, I will. I definitely will. And
Christopher will
I
give
enjoy
you my
our
number.
conversation, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah, I love y'all, man. Take care of y'all, and love y'all,
All
and
right.
call me.
Love
Okay,
you.
Christopher, I'll talk to you tomorrow too, Christopher.
Okay, bro. All right. Have a
Okay.
great show.
Okay, love y'all.
Guys.
Bye-bye.
All right. Love you too, bro. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Christopher, my friend, and his friend, and some of the greatest guys in the world. And I love them so much. And it's an honor to have them on as co-host with me now. And I'm just so proud and thankful to have them as friends by my side. And I know Christopher would be here for me no matter what with my cancer the third time here. And I know if I needed him, he would be here by my side. And he's had a stroke and he's sick too. So him and I both have had so much problems going on. And just two of the greatest guys in the world there, folks. And that's who I want on this show is those kind of people, you know. And Christopher and I used to do some really great work together, and we've both been kind of sick, but we're coming back, folks. We're coming back. Christopher and I are coming back full swing, and there's no telling what we'll get into. But I guarantee you, we're going to help a lot of people, and we're going to fulfill our dreams and our visions. And Christopher has his dreams and visions I'm going to help him with, and I have mine. And it's going to be great. It's going to be really great. So look forward to all of that. And I'm going to get off the air a little early tonight. The show's working great. And I just love all of you. And just remember, keep your head on a swivel. And remember, whatever you vividly imagine, ardently desire, and enthusiastically act upon will definitely come to pass. Even we have all these boundaries, we have all these hurdles. We can do it, folks. We can do it. Let's just keep trucking like we talked about earlier. Keep trucking, keep moving. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Love you all. Take care. See you tomorrow night. Bye bye.